All right, what up, people? It's your boy Chid from Guna Eagle Eye coming to you again with a brand new video. This time it is player ratings, where Arsenal stumbled and bumbled their way into a 1-1 draw with Slavia Prague, a team who we have previously slapped 7-0. Oh dear. Joining me as always is my partner in crime for when it comes to the player ratings, and that is Ola. Say hello to the people, Ola.
Yeah, well done, people. Usually I'll say, let's talk about it, man. But boy, I don't even want to talk
I talk
about this,
about
man.
it was it was
Bro,
one of those games where when me and Lee were watching it, 5 minutes into it, I said to Lee, "Yeah, we're gonna have to change. We're gonna have to turn this stream into a Dominoes type of a stream about us rather than the football because it just you could automatically see it was going to be a struggle. We just struggled to get going completely. There was just a lack of urgency for me. The urgency factor was the thing that really alarmed me. You know, you'd think for a team that figured that, you heard Mikel Arteta's words after the Liverpool game and in the press conference this week was all about how we were going to see a reaction to the Liverpool game. And actually, what was scary was if that was the reaction, what was, I mean, there was nothing. There was no reaction. There was no urgency. There was nothing about the game where I thought to myself, "Oh, they really want to win this game." Actually, to me, the team that looked like that they wanted to win the game and wanted to show a bit of urgency was Slavia Prague. What do you think?
um, pretty much the same sort of complaints I had in the Liverpool game. You know, Arteta leaving things too late. The whole of the first half was just flat. Like it's like we weren't interested in the game. We didn't really. I don't feel we came out to play in the first half, and this has always been a big bugbear with this team. Like, why are we waiting till 10 minutes to go to start playing football? I don't get
Mm,
it. And every time that we go, we get ourselves into situations where the game should be done and dusted. You know, it's not like the chances weren't there. If you look at the chances those were good enough chances to win this game 2-3 nil. At least I count the Saka one, the one from Martinelli, the one from Lacazette, the one Pepe scored. I mean, there were chances. So in the second half, they looked a little bit better, but Partey today, man, like Jesus Christ, we paid 45 million for this guy, cash
yeah,
money. It's not even one of them pay pay as you go type of thing, bro. You know what I mean? If it was a pay as you go type of thing, I wouldn't be feeling so bad. But like we paid cash money, man. 45. When was the last time you said Arsenal pay 45 million cash money for someone to come on the thing and do that? I mean, look at, bro. I was beginning to think. I mean, is William been talking to this guy not to play for Arsenal? I don't know if he's been talking to his Ghana brethren. Like, I don't know what's going on with him. He's
it's
just changed. His whole game is going down the toilet. You know,
it's
Cedric
funny because
today.
sorry, go on,
Yeah,
continue.
go. No, no. I was just gonna say, even Cedric today. I know is usually a right back, but he's played left back for us numerous times now, and he's going to be there for the long haul because we've lost KT in the left back position. And if this is the type of performance that we're going to get from him, bro, I'm beginning to think why do you even let Lanaus go? Because he could do a job on that left hand side there. You know, I don't know anymore. I don't know where we go from here, bro. Because this is a game we should have definitely put in our back pocket and be, and be thinking about the next league game. But Arsenal, we never do things the easy way.
Yeah, I think from my perspective, the party thing is one I'm struggling to defend as well because whilst I thought in the first half I just think he gave away a lot of balls and then won a lot of balls as well. So sometimes he'd give away a lot of balls and then he'd immediately work back to win it. In the second half, oh my gosh, it's like he got progressively worse. And I figured now that he seems to be one of these players, and I'm hoping maybe, maybe with under a different manager, we're going to see something completely different under Partey, because obviously he's gone from the strict discipline of a Diego Simeone to this shit. You can't be a bad player if you've come from Diego Simeone. So,
Bro, this thing always happens to us, man.
but
Always happens to us.
you're right. You're right. It does happen a lot. So, I guess my kind of thing is, is he just one of them sort of players that just plays to the level that is around him? Because it certainly seems like that. It seems like he's just one of those sort of.
But you know what you're saying there about Diego. You mentioned the key name right there, Diego Simeone. The level of tolerance to bullshit of Diego Simeone is obviously way better than Arteta, because Arteta is still accepting bullshit. Diego Simeone would never. You wouldn't be on the pitch that long playing
That's
like
the thing.
that.
That's the thing. That's the thing.
He would have been hooked.
That's the
Look what's
thing.
happened to Torreira.
That's the thing. And you're absolutely right. I think that's an excellent point you made. And about the subs generally, that was the other thing that frustrated me and Lee. So you're watching this game and you think to yourself, hold on, are Slavia Prague about to make a substitute before we are? That's that. Now, see that for me, that's the thing. There's certain things you can do as manager to try and encourage urgency within a team. Whether it's through gestures, whether it's through the message that you give on the touchline, or whether it's through your substitutes. There was nothing about Mikel Arteta today that if I was a player playing on that pitch, that I would have thought, oh, he's frustrated by the performance, or oh, he's not happy with the urgency that's being
Mm.
shown, because there was nothing about his performance that suggested anything different. And just to read DDS's super chat, thank you, brother, for the super chat donation. We'll never get the Atletico Partey. We don't have a Koke. We don't have a soul around him. We're not even going to get the Leon Lacazette. Yeah, I think to a certain extent, yes, players around him do help bring that quality out of you. But don't tell me that a 27-year-old international can't be coached into being disciplined and not giving away the ball every 2 seconds. Like Ola rightly said, there is absolutely no way Partey would have survived as long in the pitch, never mind 7 years in his career at Atletico Madrid, if he was doing
Absolutely.
that. Don't tell me that Koke's been there and all these other players have been there and it was the perfect environment around him for 7 years. No, we're not. This is not a crap player turned overnight. This is a player who, in my personal opinion, is being coached terribly, because we've got a coach who there's no tactics there. There's nothing I see from a defensive point of view where he's coaching these guys in such a way where defensively they're disciplined. If you need to see an example of this, let me exhibit Gabriel, for example, where every time he got the ball today, right, there was some sort of nervousness about him, whether it was the slide tackle, and yeah, a couple of times he did recover. But to me, this guy could be easily coached, but not by Mikel Arteta apparently, because I'm not seeing an improvement in Gabriel's game since he's been here. I see a player that's progressively getting worse, and if it's allowed to continue, will affect his confidence. So I don't think it's just a case of players being around you. I think it has to be about the way you're coached, the way you're managed, the way you're generally treated as a player. And I don't know if Mikel Arteta has it in him to coach these players in the correct way, in my personal opinion.
Yeah, I mean that was one of his I don't know, top qualities from City and why Arsenal looked at him. You know, one of the reasons why we brought him to the club. Obviously, ex-player of the club as well. But it's one of the things that, you know, how we transform people like Sane, people like Sterling, how he's coaching all these young kids. And it's one of the reasons why, you know, they he got the job. A lot of us did not want Arteta. Let's tell the truth here. If you ask 80% of Arsenal fans, well, 100%, 80% will tell you they never wanted Arteta. Like, not while people like Allegri and all those people were around, man. Like Ancelotti, Rafa Benitez, these big players were floating around, you know. But we ended up with him because they saw him as a young, up and coming coach that's, you know, coach all these young players at City and, you know, coach them to success. But he ain't done that over here. This is a different club. It's a different situation, and we where we are now collectively because of this lot. You know,
And
we
who knows? Maybe he might go. This is the thing that this is the thing that I think people get it twisted. Like, or what if he goes on and does something? Great. If he goes on and kicks on and becomes a good coach, fantastic. But why does that? This is the point I've always maintained from day one. Why does the first point? Why does the first stop? Why does the first experiment have to be at Arsenal? Why couldn't we have
all
waited
this.
to see the way this guy's career was going to develop? And then if he become hot shit, then go and get him.
Yeah, but bro, people I keep hearing this same notion that you're bringing. What if you go somewhere and done something? Oh, that's over there. You're not doing it over here.
That's
I
what I'm
don't care
saying.
where you go and do something.
That's what I'm saying.
Do it over here. If
That's
you
what I'm
ain't doing
saying.
it over here, I don't care
You
what you
you
go
you
and do somewhere
achieving
else.
something over there doesn't prove me wrong. That the fact
You know
that
what I
you've
mean?
gone
You
on
ain't do it over here.
to achieve
That's all
something
I
over
care
there.
about.
I agree with you. I agree with you. I 100% agree. And I think it's a shame because we're at the point now where it feels like one of the first comments that was on the chat before we actually started the show was, "Oh, you guys are acting like we've lost. We're not out yet, technically." And you're right, we're not out yet. But there is no way you can watch that game, which didn't feel like it was a game. It would be completely different if this was a game we dominated, we crashed, bang, walloped, we didn't score many goals, we got a late goal towards the end, and then they equalised. Let me tell you
I'm telling
something.
you right now, Chick.
There ain't no
At
one that will
1-0,
talk
I was
shit.
still gonna come here and cuss. At 1-0. I don't care. I was still gonna
There was
cuss
no
that game.
one. See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? That's the thing. Exactly, you're exactly right. If it was a case, sometimes performance. I know my club. I know my club. So, like Ola just rightly said, even at 1-0, there's no one that would have been sat here confident saying that Arsenal are in charge of this tie. Huh? Are we? So, I don't know. I think let's just see what happens. They've obviously got themselves an away goal. It is 1-1. They are technically ahead in the tie. All they need to do is just shut us out. This is a team that are
Yep.
notoriously very good at defending from home as well, against a team that are notoriously terrible away from home, albeit not necessarily in the European League, but generally speaking. So let's see what ends up happening. But this is also a team that's had experience playing a Leicester, playing a Rangers. You know, they know what it takes to play a British team. So they'll be fully ready for the challenge. Arsenal have not shown anything over the last couple of weeks that they'll rise to the challenge more than a Leicester or a Rangers. And I would suggest both of those teams have more fight than we do. So you got to say it does feel like we could be saying goodbye to Arsenal in Europe once again, short of our target. And then it'll be interesting to see all the Arteta, guys that are fully backing. Now what? What's the plan now, guys? What is the plan? Because there's got to be a plan. There's got to be, surely. Sorry, what do you think before we come on to player ratings? 150
Um,
people, over 150 people watching, which is great for a late night. Please do slap a like on the video. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And me and Ola will be going through player ratings super, super quick. So you won't need to wait around.
Salute to you lot, man. You know what I mean? You lot show us love all the time. Big up to all of yous. It's not the result that we really wanted, but this is Arsenal, man. I mean, my son came down after the game, and bro, he says bro, I'm finding it difficult to be happy watching Arsenal. He's 13 years old. You know what I mean? Like, it just comes every week, bro. Every week.
Ain't that a damn shame?
You know what I mean? Every week. And we're losing generations, the younger generations of fans, because we're playing this garbage week in, week out. The position we're in the league, garbage. Cops getting knocked out by dead teams. Like, come on now. You know what I mean? Like, just, where's the pride? Where's the pride, man? Last week, Rocastle, no pride, no passion, nothing. This week, ex-player comes out swanging at you lot, and you lot don't tell me they didn't hear what Petty said. Don't tell me it didn't come on their social media. Don't tell me that, man, they don't know about what. If Arteta's replying and hit it back at Petty, they all know what Petty said. Where is the pride, bro? Where is shut the fuck up, Petty? Here's the performance fee. Where's that? Because I didn't see none of that. I didn't see none of that. And with the way this team is playing, you can't guarantee a win anytime soon. You can't guarantee it. You don't see where a win is coming. You know, so it's sad. It's sad. It's a sad state of affairs, but it's a new low as an Arsenal fan for me. I'm not gonna lie. It's a new low. Like, it's tough. This season is as unbearable as I've had it, you know. But
okay. All right,
we go.
Let's go into player ratings.
The show must go on.
Guys, you know how we do player ratings by now. I'll call out a player. Me and Ola will give brief comments and a mark for that player. Here's the thing about player ratings, guys. I don't know if you know this. This is a little secret. You don't have to agree. It's not a prerequisite.
Don't take it personal.
That you agree with us. Please give your own marks in the chat room. I'll highlight as many as I possibly can, and we'll go from there and move through the players as quickly as possible. I'm sure Ola wants to wrap up. I want to wrap up and move on from this game. So let's get it done as quickly as we possibly can. All right then. Let's talk about Mr. Bernd Leno in goal today. Obviously, he has been highly scrutinised in very recently, not only in the Liverpool game, but in quite a few games recently. Did you see any improvement today?
I mean, that last goal, he could have commanded that situation a little bit better by at least ushering the defenders to just get the ball long. Let's secure the bag. Like, there's this thing with the team not knowing how to secure the bag. But he made a good save, the one that deflected off Bellerin, and he saved that with his feet. So because of that save there at 0-0, I mean, they could have gone in 1-0 from that effort there. I'll give him a free.
Yeah, I'll give him a 4 actually, for all the reasons you've literally just stated. Okay, cool. Hector Bellerin. What do you give Hector Bellerin?
Hector gets a free as well. I mean, for that equalizer, where was it? Why is Cedric there? Where was Hector? That was his side. Like, where was he? You know? And when things like this is happening and you're asking where the captain is wearing the armband, you know where to be you know where to be found. And that was his side as well. So yeah, I'll give Hector a free.
Do you know what? I slightly disagree with you. Whilst I agree with the point about the goal, I actually thought he was one of our better players tonight. And that even goes to show you the issues that we're having at the moment. I think one of the most notable things about the game where me and Lee were struggling for people that are actually playing well during the course of the match. Hector Bellerin was actually one of those players who I felt like was actually attempting to play okay. It seems like this playing once a week for him is certainly working better than playing 3 or 4 times a week. But yeah, it is what it is with Hector. He just ultimately he's just not good enough. But I thought he was better than a 3. I'll give him a 5 today. Give Hector a 5 today. Rob Holden.
Holding, oh my God, he was terrible today as well, man. Like there's a lot of nervousness on the back four. There's a lot of nervousness. Like he didn't. I know we only considered 1 goal, but if you look at the chances that they had as well, like if they had their shooting boots on, they could have got 2 or 3. Um, I give Holding a 3.
Okay. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I'll give Holden a 3. I'll give Gabriel a 3 while I'm at it as well. I want the kid to do well. I think he's
Yeah,
got
Cedric gets a
something.
1 from me though.
I
Gabriel
think
was gonna get a 3, Cedric 1.
okay. I think Gabriel's got something. We're just not seeing it under Mikel Arteta at the moment.
Yeah, I like him. I like him. I just think he needs better than Holding to play around him.
Play around him,
We
yeah.
said
I
one
agree
point.
with you.
Yeah,
I don't think he plays
he
well
needs
with
better
Holden
than
at
Holding.
all. Yeah, I agree with you. He needs calm people around him, Gabriel. Like I think he played well with Chambers. I think he played well with Mari.
We marry with
Uh,
David Luiz.
Even with Louise, as much of a shit show as Louise is, he's always calm and doing what he's doing. So yeah. Cedric, like you, I'll also give a 1 to. I thought kind of speaks for itself. In the middle, Partey. I still think this guy will come good eventually, but I also think it's going to take a real manager to bring it out of him because we're not seeing it in the moment, and that's just me being real about it. I think sometimes you just have to be honest and say to yourself, he's not good enough. He's not
For real.
playing like he's good enough. So yeah, I would say with Partey, it's got to be a 3. To be honest, he was on for a
Really?
5 at half time,
Yeah, that's
but
generous, man.
got to be a 3.
Partey gets a 1 for me, man.
Oh
He
wow!
was, he was shambolic. He
What?
was absolutely terrible. Miss, it's one of the things that I say on player ratings all the time. How you take care of the ball in the midfield matters to me because it just helps you win the midfield battles. And
Yeah.
Partey has been so careless. Oh, and I'm just talking about this game as well. But over the last few games, yes. But in particular, this game, so careless. And if you look at the pass that got him hooked, the very last one he did, like what the hell was that? And Willian done one of those as well. But we get to him. But with Partey, I just thought it was he was so bad today. I can't give him no more than a 1. I can't do that in good conscience.
I'm finding it
It's gotta be a 1.
difficult to find reasons to start him whenever I do a preview. I will say that for Partey, and I never thought I would say that for Partey. So that in itself, I guess, probably speaks to the disappointment that we're experiencing with them at the moment. But anyway, we move. His partner, Granit Xhaka,
Um,
4.
yeah, I'd go along with that. I was gonna go 4 or 5. I thought he had an average game. It was definitely better than Partey in trying to find players. He drew a lot of fouls. It was one of the reasons why we was getting some of the chances that we had. So actually, I give Shaka 5.
Okay, okay. Um, Smith Rowe ahead of him. Would you give Smith Rowe?
Smith Rowe 4.
Yeah, I'll give Smith Rowe a 4 as well. I thought he'd take advantage a little bit more of his central number 10 position. He didn't really, but yeah, I thought it wasn't a completely offensive performance. With Smith Rowe, I guess why people find it difficult to why he's in the team sometimes is his involvement in the team is all about his off the ball movement because it is so good.
And it draws defenders. They don't know
it
what
draws
they're doing.
defenders out of position, yeah, and that's why he's in the team most of the time. So people always ask me that question. That's why he's in the team. It's not so much what he does on the ball; it's his movement off the ball that is very very good. It's very very clever. So, but yeah, I just yeah, for me, I'll give him a 4. On the right hand side, Saka, I would say is our best player. I won't say man of the match like he did something, but I thought he was our best player.
Really?
Yeah.
Nah, not for me.
In my personal opinion,
I'll let you finish yours.
I could see why you would say. I could see why you might argue against it. But when I looked throughout the game at the constant threat while he was on the pitch, it was always coming from his side. Now, I'm not saying to you that it was always of a high quality. I'm not saying to you it was things that were always going to come off or anything like that. But it was always something to do with his running, his crossing, his dribbling, his shooting. Granted, all of those things need to get better with him. And don't get it twisted. He gets a 6. But literally, that's the only thing I would say for Saka, in the sense that, in fact, not even a 6, he gets a 5. So when I say best player, don't think I think 9 out of 10 or something like that. I just think, for me, in his industry, he was the one that I felt was getting the most out of his play throughout the game. So I'll give him a 5 out of 10 for that.
Okay. I mean, I give Saka a 5. I don't think Saka was as influential in the game, but then again, I mean, he sent a couple crosses. Other than that, I thought it was below par. I really do. I thought it was poor today in some of his decision making. At one point, he got one ball. Smith Rowe was right there, and he tried to hook it all the way to Cedric and overplayed it. The ball nearly went out. I just thought his decision making today was way below par. I'll give Saka a 3.
Okay.
He didn't really do, to me. I didn't see the dynamic Saka that I'm always looking for. He wasn't there today. Poor decisions as well. So yeah, 3 for Saka.
Okay. Willian, I'm going to give a 2. 2. Did a couple of things here and there, but like you said, I thought it was wasteful with a lot of chances that he had, and it's difficult because people keep asking me the question: what would you prefer, a Lacazette, sorry, an Aubameyang that doesn't do anything out left, or a Willian that doesn't do anything out left?
Do we have to have both of them? Why can't we have a Martinelli that does something out left?
That's the point, I guess.
How about bench both of them?
Yeah. So yeah, I think I'll give Willian a 2. His passing was just terrible today. What about yourself?
Yeah, 1. He did absolutely nothing, and I hate us getting the ball up there. The first thing on Willian's mind is to go back. Why are you playing on the fucking wing? If the first thing on your mind is when you get to near the box, you go back to whoever's behind you. Like, come on, take the man on, try and do something. That's why you're attacking player. Take some risks. I mean, oh my days, good at the days when we had Alexis Sanchez on that side, man. Like, Jesus Christ. You know the amount of play that used to come on that? Like, bro, come on. Take a man on. Try and do something. But not Willian. The first thing in his mind is to pass the ball back. And he's done that game in, game out, all the time. You know, maybe every now and again you get a sprinkle of an assist here and there, but come on, it's not consistent enough, man. Not for a club the size of Arsenal Football Club, you know, and for the wages we're paying him as well. So yeah, I'll give him a 1.
Yeah. And up top, Lacazette. Wanted Lacazette to do well because I've been campaigning for him to start up front by himself for a little while now. And I thought was largely wasteful. Snatched at shots here and there. There was one shot in particular where I thought to myself, my gosh, bro, if you just showed a little bit of composure there, that should have been 1-0. And yeah, I just think with Lacazette, you know, our striking situation is going to be very interesting end of the season with Balogun leaving, with Eddie in his last year of his deal and not playing a lot of football, with Lacazette looking like he's entering his last year of football. You know, it'll be interesting to see the decisions that are made with our strikers. But yeah, just for me, this was a definite game to forget for Lacazette. And I'll give Lacazette a 2 out of 10.
Lacazette gets a 1, and that's just because it turned up. I mean, I don't know whether he thought that goalkeeper was Rey Mysterio and he was going to get 619. I don't know why he took the shot the way. Like, if it was a away goal, like, this is your training ground, like, this is your home ground. You should know what to do in them. You had half a pitch. Half
Yeah.
a pitch. You
Yeah.
had half a pitch to work out whatever you wanted to do. You got there and the keeper sat down, made the decision for you. Like, you could have done one or two things. You know, either round him because he's already sat down, round him to your left and put the ball in, or take the strike and do a proper job of it. He did neither. And in the
Yeah.
end, you know, we got.
I forgot about that 1-on-1. I don't know why he went so far right. Yeah, it was so weird. That finish. Because like you say, you sat him down. He thought to himself, okay, well that's nice and easy then. And then it was just like, oh.
The keeper already made the decision for you. You already sat him down. There's so many things he could have done.
Yeah.
And he chose to do that. Like, come on. It's poor, man. The worst part of it is Saka then tried to find him again. He had a tapping. All you have to do as a striker, break your neck to get there and get the goal. He had a tapping.
Mm.
And this was 2 minutes later. Like, why you got the number 9 shirt for? What's your? That's your job.
Yeah.
That's your job. And he did
Yeah.
none of that today. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. You know what I mean? He gets a 1.
Okay, we're going to quickly race through the subs. Aubameyang, 1. Martinelli, 3. El Nene, 1. Ceballos, 0. I think that was it.
Pepe?
Pepe, 5. So,
Oh, okay. I'll give Pepe a 7 for the goal.
you give him a 7, yeah? Keep
Yeah,
in
I'll give him a
mind,
7. He's my man of the match.
yeah, keep in mind what he did for the goal that we scored. They scored. That came off Pepe. You know that, right? That was a poor
Yeah,
defensive.
but I blame Cedric and Bellerin more for that. Just because Pepe is there trying to defend, where are the actual defenders? That's their job.
Brother,
You know.
I hear you, but 7 for that, no chance.
Well, I mean, that's
I would
my score.
expect. I don't care if
He's
that's
my man of the
Aubameyang.
match as well.
I don't care if that's Aubameyang. Defend that better. Defend that better.
And Aubameyang, I give a 3 for the assist. El Nene, I give a 3. He didn't really lose the ball. Ceballos did fuck all, so he gets a 1. And who's the last guy? Yeah, I think that's it. So Pepe 7, Aubameyang 4, El Nene 3, Ceballos 1. Martinelli is the one I didn't score. Martinelli gets a 4 as well.
Yeah. Okay. And then finally, last but not least, the manager. I'll let you go first to this one.
Yeah, the manager gets a 1. He gets a 1. It's just poor substitution, just waiting around. The tactics, he didn't motivate them. It's his job to get them up for these games. It's his job to get them up for these games, and he didn't. If to me, he failed again. I know it's only, they say it's only half of the game or half of the tie, but we're doing player rating just based on this game itself, and yeah, it's a 1. Sorry.
Yep. I'm gonna give him a 0. He promised me a reaction today. And if that was the reaction he promised, then fuck him. I thought it was terrible. It was boring. It was lethargic. There was no urgency. There was no desperation from either the players or the manager. In my personal opinion, there was no desperation to win the game. And you'd hope that next week that will show more desperation to win the game, because they're going to be hard to break down next week. This is a team that don't concede goals at home, and we're going to have to try and do something about that.
And another start to this team. They've gone the whole season in their league unbeaten. They haven't lost a single game. They're going to do the Invincibles in their league this season.
So we're talking about a team that are confident, that know their side, they know their limits. They can defend if they need to. It's not going to be a pleasant game next week either. So for me, I think 0. I think one thing that I think, funny enough, I remember Claude saying when this tie came out was that he didn't mind the fact that it was at home first, because you get the opportunity to put pressure with your home result, and then go into the second leg and then try and capitalize off any mistakes that are made. Well, based on Claude's theory, we done fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I just see someone in the chat saying the Czech league is dead, but it's the same Czech league that knocked out Leicester, that's second in our league, and knocked out Rangers, that's doing bits in fucking Scottish league. So that's you can say they're dead, but at the end of the day, there's a mental thing that comes to with, you could do it in Sunday league. There's still a mental state that you have to be to go on and win your league without losing a game. There's a mental thing that goes with it, and right now we don't have that mental strength. They have it. Whichever way you want to look at it, they might be a lower quality team, but they have that mental strength that we're lacking in this team right now.
And they're loving it. They're loving it. They're loving it in the moment. They're loving the fact that they are coming across big sides and they're producing. So this will not be easy, but we'll see what happens next week. But anyway, thank you, Ola, for joining me today.
No worries,
apologies, I've not been on camera, people. Dealing with a couple of things here and there, but I'll be back. Hopefully over the weekend, back on camera and ready for Sheffield United. Oh, blimey. Yeah. So we'll see what happens with that game.
They're going to be rubbing their hands.
They will be. They will be. Let's be real here. Listen, they're more or less relegated, but they'll still fancy it. They'll still fancy it. So anyway, it is what it is. And like Sayat says in the chat room, 0-0 would have been better than 1-1. So it is what it is. All right, guys, we are out of here. Please hit the like button before you go. Hit the subscribe button before you go. Me and Ola do this every single game. We player ratings, so don't miss out on any player ratings. And hit that notification bell as well. We are out of here in the meantime. Take care. Enjoy yourself. And
salute.
Peace. And you know what? I'm going to end this thing by saying Arteta out. Done.